The kids are just the favorite all the time. At the end of the day, he's ready to play. Everyone else is sleepy. It's sleepy, it's sleepy. My friends can check on the toy. It's sleepy, it's sleepy. Every little girl and boy.
Mr. Berry said nothing. I gotta tell you about Rob. Every time someone says, "So how are you?" or "How you doing?" he always says, "Much better now that I see you." Every time. Jimmy and I bust on him all the time. He always says it, "Much better now that I see you." Rob.
Sweetie, I don't understand why we always have to come out here.
What's wrong with out here?
Nothing's wrong with out here. It's just that, well, there's plenty of other places we could be. But here we are again.
You love coming out here.
No, I love coming out here with you, Alan. You're what makes this place special.
So, you don't love coming out here with me anymore?
No, that's not it. It's just that, it's just not special anymore. I mean, when we first started coming out here, it was like you were letting me into this little world. I felt privileged and honored, even flattered that you'd share it with me. I know how hard you and the guys worked on it to make it what it is.
So what's changed?
Look, Alan, it's been 1.5 years since Helen died. That's 3 years for us. And I'm sorry to say this, and it's hard, but I feel like she's still alive. Nothing has changed for us. We're still sneaking around like we're doing something wrong. I want to be your girlfriend, at the very least. But here we are again. I'm like a ghost.
Steph.
Do any of the guys know about me? I know all about them, what they do, who they're close to, who's having surgery on what body part. Alan, I know them all, because you talk about them all the time. Do they even know I exist?
Rob does.
Oh, the priest. Well, you told the priest. I know exactly what you thought. He's like your confessor. Did you tell him in the confessional? I bet you told him in the confessional so he had to keep it a secret. You told him in the goddamn confessional, didn't you?
No. We were actually out here. But he did seal it.
You are unbelievable.
Steph.
Are you ashamed of me?
What?
Are you ashamed of me? It's a simple question, Alan. Do you feel shame about your relationship with me?
No.
Well, that's a ringing endorsement, isn't it?
Okay. You want me to be honest? I was ashamed. But not of you. My God, look at you. I should be strutting around like a peacock. Man my age, woman your age, dream come true. No. Steph, I'm not ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of me. Helen was an innocent victim of that stupid disease. I just couldn't sit around, wait it out. I had to get me a piece on the side.
Is that what
That's what you started out as. Yes, you know it as well as I do. I just needed some comforting, physical comforting, and you were there.
So we're done.
No! God, no! That's not what this is about.
Then what is this about, Alan? I'm just really confused.
I'm just not ready.
Ready for what?
Ready to let the world know that I'm willing to let her go.
To be with a woman who's young enough to be your daughter. That's the rest of that sentence, isn't it, Alan? Shit! I thought we were past that.
How do I get past that? Sure. I'd like to tell the guys that I've met someone new, someone I can spend the rest of my life with. But when I introduce you to them, they're going to say, oh, this is her daughter? I told you what wise asses they can be.
Yes, you did. I also know what else you've told me about them. That they're the best friends in the world. That after what, 50, 60 years, there's nothing you can't tell them? Nothing they won't support you on?
I did say that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. So what the hell are you waiting for? It's time for us to start our life together. And that can never happen until you can tell your best friends about us. Honey, if these guys are who you say they are, this is gonna be easy. I'll do it with you if you want.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. They're coming out this weekend. I'll do my best. I'll tell them. I'll tell them. Has this ever happened to you? I can't get the damn things apart.
Alan, relax. They're just utensils. Don't let them rule your life.
How are you, brother?
Much better now.
Now that I see you!
Man, you gotta get a new line. That one's growing mold.
God, it's been forever. 2 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's Ginny?
She's fine. Busier than ever. Housing market's crazy. She's working 60 hours a week just keeping up with it. I gotta tell you, I don't mind the extra cash.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're sitting around on your brains all day.
Oh, I get it. The brain through my head. Good one. Listen, I did my share for 45 years. I don't mind letting her pull her weight now.
Yeah, well, you gotta get her to stop soon. You don't want her last day of work to be your first day of death.
Yeah, I know. She wants to work an extra year just so we'll have a bigger nest egg. World travel does not come cheap, and she really wants to see a little bit of the world while she can.
Yeah, smart girl. So, where's Chris? I thought he was coming out with you guys.
He called, said he wanted to drive himself out. I'm getting worried about him. Do you ever see him, Alan?
No. Every time I try to get him to go out somewhere, he always has some excuse. Ever since Janet died, he's changed. Seems angry all the time. I haven't seen him in 6 months or so. Ran into him at the cardiologist's office. My yearly EKG. Hey, how's your ticker doing since the scare, huh?
Solid as a rock, thanks be to God. Doc doesn't know what caused it, but I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Listen to the two of you, you'd think you were a couple of old men sitting around talking about your doctor's appointments. How many pills you're taking every day?
6.
Only 3.
Yeah, I'm up to 5. Finally put me on term of statin. snuck past that top number too many times. Always knows, but still.
Now who's the old man? Do your hips hurt? Yeah! What the hell is that all about? It just started a couple of months ago. I can barely make it to the bathroom in the morning. Takes me a minute to get them moving.
How many times?
How many times what?
Do you get up to pee? How many times a night do you get up to
It's just a couple.
pee? I'm down to one since the surgery. Best thing I ever did, that turd.
Turd.
No, transurethral resection of the prostate.
Damn, that's
It's not that bad. Catheter sucked though. How about you, Rob? You up a lot in the night?
It's usually 4 times for me.
You better get that checked out. You gotta get that roto-rooter just done. Can't be some ED issues afterwards. But what would a priest care about that, am I right?
Funny. I'd still like to get my D, a little E every now and then.
just the image I need in mind. Hey, I'm about to put the wings in.
Oh, remember when we used to deep fry everything?
Oh, the Fry Daddy. I remember those days.
Yeah, those days are gone forever. I don't even have it anymore. Sold it in a garage sale a couple years ago.
Well, nice apron, by the way.
Fuck you!
How many times have I offered, but you keep turning me down?
I don't know what you're ever going to do if he takes you up on that offer.
Hey. Chris!
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, brother, it's great to see you, man. How's everything going?
My hips hurt. That's how it's going. I gotta have the left one replaced.
Is that Chris? Brother, how you doing? What is so funny, you two?
His hips hurt.
What the hell is so funny about my hips?
Oh, Chris, relax. We were, I swear to God, just talking about how our hips hurt like crazy, and then you walked in here with that?
How many pills are you taking for it?
Alright, I get it.
How many times are you peeing at night?
More than you really want to know.
Well, then you and Rob should talk. Roto-rooters, snip, snip, that's the thing in the morning.
So listen to him. He's penis happy tonight. Let me get some wine. The wings are in. You know, I'm incredibly happy to have you guys out here tonight. I know we always say it, but we don't make the kind of time for each other that we used to. We have to do something about that. You know, I'm always happy to host, but we have to communicate better. Chris, for God's sake, turn up the sound on your phone once in a while. I get the damn message every time. And I think all of us could be better at answering texts. Except Rob, of course. I swear to God, you always have the phone in your hand. Listen, I love you guys. And I just want to make sure that we're always there for each other.
Alan, are you dying or something?
No. It's just that you guys mean a lot to me, and I don't say it often. So, thought I'd say it here tonight. To the four of us, and the friendship that we've always shared.
Here, here.
Here.
be out in 5 or so. Sauces.
Hot.
Mild.
Oh, you got any of that Thai chili left? That was incredible.
Yeah, I just picked up another big bottle.
Great, I'll have that.
You know, maybe that's better. I'll have that too.
And me.
Okay. Sweet Thai chili all around makes it easy on me.
Alan, it's to you.
Pass.
By me. Nope.
No can do. Alan? Alan, it's to you. Are we playing here or not? Alan, it's to you.
Hey, what the hell's wrong with him tonight?
I don't know. He's like a squirrel. He hasn't sat down for more than 5 minutes.
He was all pissed and jumpy when we got here, and then that heartwarming speech. Something's not right.
Hearts.
What? Shit, you gotta be kidding. Are you going alone?
What?
Are you going alone?
No, can't.
Alan, damn it, you leave.
Sorry.
I smell a yogurt.
You'd be lucky to get 2.
Sorry, guys. My head's just not in the game tonight, and I've never in my life burned the wings.
See what I mean? He's never burned the wings.
Oh, that's okay, I like a bird.
We're just gonna have to pin him down. Usual places. Damn it, Alan, get out here!
Hey! I just got my wings on the oven. They're gonna get over there. Is this really necessary? What the hell is the matter with you guys? What is going on? Get off of me.
Hey, man. What's going on?
What the hell are you talking about?
I said, what the hell is going on?
And I said, what the hell are you talking about?
Come on, Alan, you know damn well what he's talking about. Burnt the wings? You've never burnt the wings in your entire life. And you've never spent this much time running around cleaning up. And you've never screwed up a bid like that. Hearts? What the hell were you thinking?
I had both jacks.
And I had jack shit.
Come on, man, what's going on? You know damn well you're not right tonight. We can see it a mile away. What is it?
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you. Just get the hell off of me.
I remember that being easier.
We haven't done anything like that since freshman year in college.
I'm seeing somebody.
Well, that's great, man. What's her name?
Her name?
Where'd you meet her?
I met her at...
How's your penis?
Come on, dude. That is not something I need to picture. Seriously, Alan, that's great. It's good to see you moving on. I know how hard it must be.
What, his penis?
I'm happy for you, man. And I know Helen would be too.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, so go ahead and answer Bonehead's questions. Although, we do not need to know how your penis is, thanks be to God.
Okay, let's see. Her name is Stephanie. She's a nurse, sort of a counselor. In fact, she was one of Helen's nurses for the last 6 months or so.
Really? Which one? I think I met them all.
No, I don't think you would have met her. She was always on the night shift. She may have been there the night Helen died. One of a half dozen nurses or so there that night. But it's all just a jumble.
Yeah. They say you're supposed to lock in those memories, you know, the important moments. I seem to have done just the opposite. That whole thing is just a blur to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Anyway, we became friends, started seeing each other. She's gorgeous and really intelligent. And she's 40.
40? Gotta be kidding me.
I know! It's unbelievable. I've asked her 100 times why she would want to go out with a guy old enough to be her father. She just brushes it off. Tells me age doesn't matter. She actually says she loves me. Guys, I'm like a giddy schoolboy when I'm with her. I giggle. I actually fucking giggle. And as for my penis, Jimmy, my penis has never been happier. It's uninhibited, I guess is the best word for it.
God damn motherfucker.
I guess I went too far, didn't I?
Yeah, I'd say you went too far.
God, that was stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I better go talk to him.
I think you'd better let me do it. He's not going to be ready to talk to you just yet.
What the hell just happened?
Well, just off the top of my head, I'd say I pushed Chris over the edge by reminding him that his little sister, Helen, and I used to have sex all the time. And now, there's someone in my life who does it better. That's how stupid I am.
Oh. Okay, I get it. But man, it's been what, 2 years? That is the right time to move on.
Been a year and a half and I don't have a fucking clue when it's the right time. There's no manual for this.
That's for sure. And Chris sure as hell hasn't moved on.
It's been 5 years since Janet died. He's still living like a hermit. We're his only contact with the outside world. If I don't invite him out here for a weekend, go to a ball game, he sits in that house, watches TV, occasionally builds something in his garage. No, he hasn't moved on. Unless he's hiding it from us. I can't imagine that. And I guess he expects me to do the same. And I haven't even told him the hardest part.
Yeah, what's that?
No, Jimmy, I have to tell him first.
long time? Fuck him, man, fuck him.
Come on, Chris, calm down, man.
Calm down, were you not in the same room? His penis, my God. Almost a year and a half. It's only been a year and a half. That's nothing. That's nothing. She was just here. She was just his wife. And now he's out getting his pole waxed by some 40-year-old slut? How the hell is that supposed to make me feel, Rob? How?
Look, Chris, you're gonna feel the way you feel. It's not up to me. It's
Oh
up to me.
shit, this is not the time for you to pull that priestly crap on me, Rob. Tell me how I'm supposed to feel.
Look, if I were you, I'd probably be pissed too, but for a different reason.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
okay. You remember the episode of Home Improvement where Tim and Jill were gonna take the boys skiing for the weekend?
Yeah, vaguely.
Okay, so they're all packed and ready to go, and the boys are excited to get out on the slopes. Jill is looking forward to restaurants and room service, and Tim can't wait to get out there and show the boys how to snowboard. So as they're walking out the door, Tim, in his classic style, slips on a patch of ice, kicks the garbage can into the downspout, which brings the gutters crashing down. He lands in a heap on the sidewalk, his leg is broken, the gutters are trashed, and the weekend is ruined.
So, what?
So, who's mad about what?
What do you mean they're all pissed?
Yeah, but for different reasons. The boys are pissed because,
They can't go skiing.
and Jill is pissed because,
She has to take Tim to the hospital because his leg is broken.
and Tim is
Or maybe it's because of the fact that the gutters are all a mess and Tim won't be able to fix them until his leg is all better.
and Tim is pissed.
Or maybe it's just losing out on the room service. I remember her being pissed a lot.
And Tim is pissed because,
Oh shit, I don't know, Rob. What's your point?
my point is, there are a lot of reasons to be pissed at what Alan just told us. So why are you pissed?
What do you mean, why am I pissed? Why the hell do you think I'm pissed? I'm pissed because
Yeah.
I'm pissed that he
Go on.
I'm pissed that that son of a bitch got over everything so fast. I'm pissed that Helen had to die. I'm fucking furious that Janet's gone. 5 years, and I can't get over it, Rob. I can't get over it. So yeah, I'm pissed at Alan because he's so much more well-adjusted than I am. Is that what you're getting at? That he's better at this than I am, and I can't stand that?
Listen, man. There is no right way or wrong way to go about this. Some people can walk away from the funeral and go on with their life. Other people have to walk through a lot of crap in order to get back to a good place. You are just now taking the first steps back to that good place. It sucks that it took as long as it did, but at least you're moving.
It doesn't feel like movement to me. Feels like I'm still stuck and angry and bitter. And I'm taking it out on Alan.
He's a big boy. He can take it. He knew how hard this was going to be for you, but he couldn't sit on it forever. He felt that maybe you were ready to hear it. I think so too.
Thanks for your vote of confidence, but I'm not sure you're right.
I've been wrong before, but I don't think this is one of those times. to me, I can't understand why I can't get you guys to drink a nice scotch instead of that girly wine.
Hey! This is no girly wine. This is a 2005. Set medium Bordeaux. Okay, I know. That sounded a little girly. But I don't break this stuff out for just anybody. And honestly, I've never understood your fascination with scotch. It's always tasted like rubbing alcohol to me.
Scotch is cultured and refined. And besides, I spent way too many years in the priest lounge defending my taste for Diet Coke. Every priest I know drinks scotch. Like in a fucking handbook or something. So yeah, I drink scotch. And believe it or not, I've learned to like it.
Well, at least these guys like my wine. Who the hell else can I drink it with anyway?
You realize that Jimmy and I hate this shit.
Isn't that right, Jimmy? No, I like it okay. Truth be told, I'd rather have a beer, but you don't keep any out here.
That's because I hate beer.
Yeah, but we don't. And we also know you're gonna break out of this Saint whoever shit every time we come out here. And give us that same old sob story about not being able to drink it with anyone else. And thanking God Almighty for us and our refined palates. Well, this shit tastes like turpentine. Old turpentine that's been sitting in the garage for 20 years. We drink it to make you happy, Alan. And you know another thing? We do a lot of things to make you happy. Do you know that?
What are you talking about?
Did you ever notice how we're always out here, out of the cabin, like it's some goddamn oasis in the desert? Like it's the only place on earth that four guys can get together. Did you ever notice that, Alan?
I thought you guys liked it out here. You've all done so much to help me fix it up.
Oh, yeah, we've all done so much work on it. And you know why? To make you happy. To make sure goddamn Alan has enough free labor to turn this place into a paradise for him and my little sister.
Chris.
Yeah, that's right, my little sister. You remember her, don't you? The one you were married to for almost 40 years? And then just moved on after she died? Just fucking moved on to some 40-year-old... Hey, what about that? Did you ever notice that your little chickie was probably being born on the same day that you walked my sister down the aisle? Do you have any idea how sick that is, Alan?
Chris, that's enough.
Yeah, come on, Chris, calm down.
That's okay, guys. Let him go on.
Oh, now he's gonna be all magnanimous. Noble. Because that's our Alan. Always better than the rest of us. Always more successful. Always a better car, and a better job, and a prettier wife. Always better. Well, you're not better anymore, buddy boy. Now you've screwed over my little sister.
You think I'm better? You think I screwed her over? Well, my friend, you don't know the half of it.
All right, you two, break this up. This is not who we are, and you know it.
Father, if you don't get your goddamn hand off me, I will break it.
You really think that I think I'm better than you? Come on, Chris. Oh, I've done shitty things in my life just like the rest of you, and I've told you about most of them. And I'll tell you one more.
Do you think this is the right time to bring that whole thing up?
Yeah, Rob. I think it's the right time.
The right time for what? What the hell do you know about this?
Not really able to say, Chris.
Oh, seal of the confessional. Really?
Yeah, just back off and let me talk to Alan for a minute.
What the hell did he tell you? What does he know?
I said, back off. Just sit there, let me talk to Alan for a minute before we blow this whole thing up way bigger than it has to be. Jimmy, keep an eye on him while I talk to this idiot.
Yeah, sure. Hey, will you do me a favor and once this is all over, tell me what the hell just happened here?
Yeah, it'll be my pleasure.
Hey, I'm not done with this. Jimmy, get out of my way. I need to know what the hell they're talking about.
Just calm down. Let Rob do his thing. You know he can get to the bottom of this, whatever this is. Listen, why don't you tell me what this is all about, and then we'll go and get some air and find out what the big deal is.
This whole thing. I want to know what Rob meant by this whole thing.
I'd like to know what the hell any of this means. I'm always out of the loop. Listen, why don't you sit down? Tell me what you think this is all about, okay?
Okay. Hey, would you give me a beer? I put some in the fridge.
Oh, okay, sure. Stay put. Good boy.
I'm not your dog. I can stay put if I want to stay. Don't need you to tell me to stay.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to bolt for the door. Here. Hey, Chris, you want to see my penis? Hello. You know, I've never had the nerve to tell Alan what I thought of his wine. I'm glad you did. Maybe now we won't have to choke this stuff down anymore. Hey, is that what this is all about, the wine?
Oh, no. It's not about the wine. Although it did get me juiced enough to tell Alan what I thought of it. I suppose that's a good thing, huh?
Yeah, then, but so what are we talking about? Why the hell are you so pissed off?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm pissed at the stuff I'm usually pissed at. Jan and Helen, my miserable life. But there's something else, and I know it's stupid. That's the thing. I know it's stupid, yet I can't help feeling it.
Feeling what?
I want to rip Alan's head off and feed it to him. And I don't know why. Except that maybe it's because he's moved on and I can't. Jimmy, I should be happy for him. He's my best friend. I should be thrilled that he's moved on and not crawled into a little hole and shriveled up like me. He took such good care of Helen. He did everything he could. That's the thing. He did everything right. Textbook widower. And here I am, wallowing in self-pity and not moving on. I've wasted so much time I'm never gonna get back.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, pretty stupid, huh? Here, he's got some good news, and I turn it around in a completely different direction. I know it's not about me. It's about him and his life.
Well, at least you're seeing it now. That's something, right?
Yeah, if only I could stay this way.
Rob, I've got to tell him.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Isn't that one of your deals? No lying? I mean, it's a sin, right?
Since when have you ever cared about what I call a sin?
Okay, you're right. I don't give a rat's ass what you call sin, but it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
I don't know. Why do you think that?
Because I've kept it from him long enough.
Not good enough.
Because I don't want it hanging over my head anymore.
Closer.
Because I'll feel better if I get it off my chest.
Okay. Now that makes more sense to me. And why will you feel better?
Guilty conscience, all that stuff.
And how will you feel after you tell him?
Later.
And how will Chris feel? See, Ellen, just because you'll feel better doesn't necessarily fix the problem. It only makes you feel better. You've got to know why you do a thing. When Chris finds out that you were sleeping with Stephanie for a year and a half while his sister was still alive, man, I don't know what he'll do. Sometimes honesty goes sideways.
I always thought honesty was the best policy.
And how has that worked for you in the last few years? You've had to hide in the shadows, eat your dinners out of town, all to keep this from your best friends. Well, you certainly wouldn't have told me without the seal, would you?
Of course not. Well, I trust you. The collar helps.
Yeah, sometimes it does. So what are you going to do?
Hell, I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Not my job.
Come on. You've got to have an opinion.
Of course I do. Everyone does. They're like, you know the joke. But in this case, my opinion doesn't mean jack. You're the one who's going to have to deal with the consequences, and I don't want to be saddled with half the blame on this one. Just do me a favor. If you're going to tell him, wait until the morning when he's sober. Angry, plastered Chris is not going to take this in a calm and reasonable fashion.
Probably a good idea. But how are we going to go back in there now? He's going to want answers.
let me handle it. I'll go back in first and see if I can calm him down.
Just got him calmed down.
Great, good work, Jimmy Olsen.
But what are we gonna do now? We can't just leave him there.
But I don't want to wake him up. He's got to sleep this off.
Well, I don't think he's gonna wake up anytime soon. He drank a lot more than I thought.
Well, in that case, let's just get him over to the couch. He can sleep it off there.
Chris, let's go over here.
Come on, buddy.
Come on.
Easy does it.
No. Here we go. Almost easy. Nice on the couch.
Yeah.
Coming your way.
A little nap.
There you go.
All clear?
Yeah, he's out like a light.
Thank God.
Done.
Okay, so what the hell is going on here? He is incredibly pissed at you, but I think he's beginning to see that it's more about him than you. Does that make sense?
He said that?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to get out. I think, didn't make much sense. I think he's pissed that you moved on and he can't.
Well, of course I moved on more easily. I had a couple of years to say goodbye to Helen. I could hold her hand at night, but she drifted off to sleep. You know, she really didn't know who I was anymore. I had closure. Chris didn't get any of that. The accident took Janet like that.
Yeah. Never had a last goodbye. Never had a last kiss. Probably never even said I love you as she was going out the door that morning.
No, he didn't. His last words to her were something about groceries.
Pick up some chips on your way home, will ya?
Huh?
Those were his last words to her. Pick up some chips on your way home, will ya? Live with that for the rest of your life. It's why I make sure I kiss Jenny and tell her I love her every time I leave the house. I want those to be the last words in her ears. Especially if I'm going to be gone overnight, like tonight.
Speaking of that, we better get some sleep. I am not looking forward to the morning and dealing with all of this stuff.
I think Chris is going to be okay. He seemed to be getting more reasonable as he fell asleep.
Your lips to God's ear. See what you can do about that, will you? Good night.
Good night. Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
You know what's really going on here? It's got to be more than what I'm seeing.
It is, you're right. But I really can't talk more about it. It's going to have to be up to Alan in the morning.
Seal of the confessional, right?
Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. But I think we're going to be all right. I mean, the four of us. We've been through worse than this before and come out the other side with just a few bruises. Just going to take a little prayer.
Yeah, I might even say a few tonight.
I don't know, Jimmy, that might do more harm than Be careful. Remember, when I say go to hell, I mean it. okay. Just a dream.
Oh my
Just
God.
a dream.
Oh my God. Again. Every fucking night.
What's going on?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're fine. Bad dream. I got this. Okay. So, what did you mean again?
What?
You said again every night.
Um, Not every night, but I'd say 3 or 4 nights a week for the last 5 years. I've had this same damn nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, but I've never had it out here. That's one of the reasons I like coming out here. Don't tell Alan. is that it seems to calm those dreams some.
What do you think brought it on tonight?
Oh, you really have to ask that?
Right. All the talk about Helen and Janet. I'm sorry. So, tell me about it.
The nightmare?
Yeah? I sure as hell am not going back to sleep after that. I'm gonna have to wait for my heart rate to slow down a little.
I haven't told anybody about it.
Well, there's a first time for everything, isn't there? So tell me.
Okay. You're sure?
Yeah, lay it on me. Maybe I'll have a brilliant insight.
Okay. Well, you remember that classic sci-fi movie, The Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Yeah, baby.
Well, when I was little, probably 10 or 11, I saw it on TV. It was one of those nights I wasn't supposed to stay up late, but I did. And I was all alone in the living room, and I watched it through to the end. I didn't have the nerve to get up and go upstairs. I was so scared. After that night, I had these nightmares. I don't know how many times, but they always ended the same way. The creature is chasing me through the swamp, and you know how in a dream when you're being chased, you can't move your legs very fast, like you're running through molasses?
Yeah.
It was like that. So, I'm running, and the creature's gaining on me. And finally, when the creature is close enough to throw a spear, I don't think there were even spears in the movie. It hits me right between the shoulder blades. And I start to fall, and just before I hit the ground, I wake up.
But that was when you were a kid. You've told me this story before.
Not done. So, a few weeks after Janet was killed in the accident, the dreams show up again. Only this time it's different. It starts the same way. Creature's chasing me, and I'm running through the molasses. But this time, when the creature is close enough to throw a spear, I know he's going to throw it. And I dodge out of the way. The spear goes flying past me like a bullet. And it hits Janet. It hits her like a car going 80. And she flies forward. And I run up to her in the highway at that intersection. And she's lying in a pool of blood with a spear, the one that I should have taken, sticking out of her back. 3 or 4 times a week, I have to live through that. I always wake up at about the same. What time is it? I'll bet you $5 it's right around 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up in a pool of sweat, And I can never get back to sleep after that.
My God, Chris, that's awful.
I know you guys think I should be over it by now. Well, hell, I have no idea if this fucking nightmare is ever gonna go away. So how the hell can I get over it if I have to keep living it again, over and over and over?
I wish I had the answer to that. You said you've never told anyone about this, right?
Of course not. It's too embarrassing. I know I'm not responsible for Janet's death. I know that. But this dream seems to say otherwise. And I'm not stupid. Honestly, I'd rather that the dream were a little more complex. There's nothing to analyze here. I feel guilty. At least that's what the dream says.
Why not see someone?
Oh, you mean a shrink? Come on, Rob, you know how I feel about that stuff. Bunch of whiny idiots who can't deal with their own shit.
Feels to me like you can't deal with this shit. Look, I appreciate that you're not whining. But talking this out with someone couldn't hurt.
Well, I just told you.
But I'm not your guy on this one. I'm your friend, I'm not your therapist. And I don't think you want me to be. But I can make some recommendations. I'll make some calls tomorrow morning and see what I can come up with.
Now, hold on. I'm not agreeing to anything just yet.
I know. And I won't push you, I promise. You make the decision, and I'll make the call. When you're ready. Now, I think you should try to get some more sleep. After all, you gotta let your body process the rest of that shitty wine.
Yeah, all right. Hey, Rob.
Yeah,
Thanks.
anytime, brother.
No, you can't come out of here. Because the guys are still here, that's why. Yes, I told... Oh, shit. No, I didn't hang up on you. It's just a crappy signal out here. Hang on. I'm gonna go out. Okay, you got me now? Yeah, I'm outside. It's pretty damn cold out here this morning. So look, I told him I was seeing you. Yeah, I told him who you are, what you do. I even told him how we met. Hey, hold on. Don't get too excited. Chris melted down. I don't know why. I didn't even tell him how long we've been seeing each other. That's the hard part. I have to do that today. I don't know, Steph. He's really hurting right now. I've never seen him like this. I'm worried. I will if I can. I love you too. Good morning. was all that about last night? I heard him screaming about something. Is he okay?
Bad dream.
Oh, okay.
No, Alan, you don't understand. This bad dream has been haunting him ever since Janet was killed. Last night he brought it up again.
You mean I brought it up again? Shit, why did I have it?
Alan, you were gonna have to tell him eventually. It's never gonna be easy. It's never gonna be pretty. But you can't hide her away forever. She deserves to be seen. She deserves to know us. Quite the privilege, huh? Truth be told, I'm looking forward to meeting her.
Well, you almost got a chance to meet her this afternoon. She wanted to come out. I just got off the phone with her. She wanted to come out today.
And
I told her no. It's too soon. Chris isn't ready for that. Not yet.
there's never gonna be a good time. You know that as well as I do.
What am I not ready for?
Hey, buddy. How you feeling this morning, huh?
What were you guys talking about? What am I not ready for?
Come on, Chris. Let's get some coffee in you. And then we'll talk. It's okay. It's no big deal.
If it's no big deal, why not just tell me now?
Calm down. Let's get some coffee. Alan will fix us some breakfast, and then we can talk about this.
Talk about this. So there is a this to talk about. Come on, man, what the hell is it? And why do you know and I don't? This whole confessional stuff is a load of crap. It's just so you can keep secrets. Must make you feel pretty important, huh, Rob? Big shot with God.
Chris, let's just get through breakfast.
Fuck breakfast. I want to know why you guys...
Stephanie.
Go make us some breakfast.
But
I said go make us some breakfast. Let me talk to Chris.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Alan, now! Calm down. Calm down. Are we all right? Can I let you go without you storming into the kitchen, beating the shit out of him?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's talk about last night.
Last night? Fuck that. I want to talk about what just happened right now.
I want to talk about that too. But I don't think we can talk about that effectively until we talk about what happened last night.
Okay. I had a bad dream.
Not just a bad dream. A bad dream you've been having for 5 years.
What? Is that not normal?
Of course that's not normal. It's a signal that you haven't let go. You haven't healed. Listen, I deal with people in grief and crisis every day. Sometimes I describe grief as a window that opens all by itself whenever it wants to. You just have to deal with it. But every time that window opens, it opens a little less, until finally you have control of when you want to crack it open and let it wash over you. Chris, you have no control. It seems to me that that window is stuck open for you. At least it opens wide every other night when you have those dreams. The grief is just pouring in, pouring over you and running your life. That's what the dream is.
Well then, how do I shut the window?
Damn it. I did not want to do this. I shouldn't be counseling you. You're my friend. You have to tell me it's okay. I don't want to lose you over this. But I want to help you get past it. I want the little Chris back. I think we all do.
I do too. All right, let's do it.
I have your permission.
You have my permission. But let's start here.
You will grieve forever. You will never get over the loss of Janet. But you will learn to live with it. You will heal. And you will rebuild yourself around that pillar of loss that's become the foundation of who you are. You will be almost whole again. But you'll never be the same. And you shouldn't want to be. That would do a real disservice to Janet. You loved her. We all loved her. She was your everything, and she lives in you. You have our permission to grieve. But you also have our permission to heal. And if that's what you've been waiting for 5 years, it's about time we give it to you.
No, it is
Don't worry about that now. These things are simple to say. You have a long road, brother. But it's a road you don't have to travel alone. We've been trying for 5 years to pick you up and give you a ride. But man, you have to stick your thumb out first.
No, hon, it's just one more night. I'll be home by 3 tomorrow. Yeah, I know, I said I'd be home on Saturday night. Well, Rob had to drive back for Saturday Mass, and Ellen wanted me to stay and help take care of Chris. Oh, hon, that's a much longer story than we have. Did he? Did I lose you? Damn it. Ellen! Ellen, when are we going to get some decent signal out here?
When Verizon decides we're important enough. Outside, by the bench, in the garden, you know the spot.
Yeah, okay. Jenny, if you can still hear me, I'm going outside to the bench in the garden. You know the spot. Do I have you now? Great. Yeah, no, Chris had a bit of a breakdown. I'll tell you all about it when I get home, but I can't leave here just yet. No, he's okay. He's just going to need some TLC for a while, okay? Love you too. Thanks for the extra night. I owe ya.
Hi.
Hi. Oh,
You just have to be Jimmy, right?
Yes, ma'am, I suppose I just have to be.
I could tell by the hair and the clothes. Alan said you'd be buried in jeans and a t-shirt if they let you.
It's in my will. You would have to be Stephanie, wouldn't you?
I suppose I would have to be.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good.
What are you talking about? I've been looking forward to meeting you guys for such a long time. I know this isn't the best way to do it, but if I had to wait for Alan to do it, I wouldn't have met you until they slipped the final jeans and t-shirt on you and put you in a box.
You don't understand. Here, sit down. You see, Alan did tell us about you last night. Oh, I'm thrilled for both of you, by the way. Best thing in the world for him to get back out there and live his life.
Agreed.
But Chris had a big problem with it.
I know. That's why I'm here.
Come again?
I figure if I can meet him, we can talk it out and maybe I can smooth things over. I can be very charming when I want to be.
I'm sure that you can, but Chris is incredibly fragile right now. He broke down this morning and cried. Outright cried. Right in front of us. I've known him for over 40 years and I've never seen him cry before. Not even at his wife's funeral. He's always been a rock. Till now.
The tighter you bundle the hay, the more violently the twine breaks.
Huh?
Something my daddy says. He's a farmer, so we hear a lot of farm metaphors. It's his way of saying, the longer you keep it in, the uglier it's going to be when it comes out.
This was definitely ugly. He was ready to rip Alan's head off last night. A lot of it was the booze. Drank more than I've ever seen him drink before. But I'm sure most of it was pent-up anger and rage.
Rage about what?
You?
Me?
Well, finding out about you is what kicked it off. But there was a whole lot more underneath it. Oh, our resident priest / shrink had to go back to town, but thank God he was here. He managed to talk Chris down.
You mean Rob?
Yeah. Just how much do you know about us guys?
Everything.
Oh boy.
Well, a lot. Alan's really an open book when it comes to you guys. He really loves all of you. I've never seen anything quite like it. So I am so excited to meet you all.
Yeah, about that. It was hard enough to talk Chris down since this morning, but without Rob here to mediate, I don't see any way that you walking into that cabin doesn't cause a complete meltdown.
It's that bad?
I'm no expert, but I don't think it would be good for him. Or for you. Well, I don't think he'll take a swing at you or anything. Chris is still the same gentleman he's always been. But he's been through a lot in the last 24 hours, and I don't think he can take much more without processing what's happened already, so.
Jimmy, did Alan tell you what I do?
Yeah, he said you were a nurse. Oh, and he mentioned that you took care of Helen in the last few months.
That's right. I'm a nurse and I specialize in grief counseling. It's how Alan and I met in the first place. I was there to counsel him through the loss he was experiencing.
Oh, it must have been hard. Never known a happier couple in my life.
I know. It's what drew me to him in the first place. He was so warm and caring. He loved so completely. I've only seen that a few times in my career. Anyway, grief is kind of my thing. I think I can talk to Chris without having him lose it on me. And if he does, I'm used to that too.
Yeah, seems like a reasonable proposition. But I just assume not take responsibility for it, so. Just stay here and I'm gonna go get Alan.
Now hold on. I'm not gonna let you get away that easy. We have some time. Tell me something about you that Alan hasn't already told me.
No, I don't think I should do. Okay. Don't suppose they're going anywhere, huh? All right, so something about me that Alan hasn't told you. You're gonna have to guess at that.
I know. Let's see what you come up with.
All right.
I'll give you 3 tries.
I am married to the same woman for 44 years.
Ginny. Tomlinson, I believe is her maiden name.
Yeah, he has been chatting with you, hasn't he?
I told you, there's not much he hasn't told me. That was 1. Second try.
I have had 3 surgeries in the last year and a half.
Left knee, full replacement. Right heel, plantar fascia release. And
Oh, I think I got you on this one.
The Terp in June. How's that working out for you?
Damn, I think I'm pissing like an 18-year-old. Sorry.
No worries. I know how you guys talk. And my daddy uses curse words like commas.
Us too, sometimes. By the way, does the retrograde ejaculation ever go away?
I'm not allowed to say. Talk to your urologist. You have one more guess. Come on now, really think. Something about you that Alan hasn't told me, or something even he doesn't know.
Okay. Here goes. I'm the screw-up of the group. Not as educated as the rest of them. I'm always behind and I don't understand half of what they're talking about. I'm lucky they keep me around because I feel like I drag them down sometimes.
Well, Jimmy, you win. Alan has never said anything like that about you, and I can't imagine it's even a tiny bit true. He loves you guys more than anything in the world. Even me, I think. And that's okay. You guys are a tough act to follow.
Thanks. I better go get Alan now.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
thanks.
No charge. Ellen! Ellen!
Whoa, Jimmy, take it easy.
Oh man, you don't understand. She's here.
Who's here?
I don't know what to call her. Girlfriend?
Stephanie? Stephanie is here?
Yeah, she's outside in the garden. Nice girl. Weird. That made me open up to her like she hypnotized me. I like her.
Right, Jimmy, I don't care if you like her. Of course I do. I want you to like her. It's just that I got it.
Ellen,
What?
you should probably go talk to her.
Great idea, Jimmy Olsen. You can't be here.
You can't be here.
Why not?
Why not?
The timing is all wrong.
Timing is all wrong.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Just what I said.
Just what I said.
I can be wherever I want to be, and I want to see him.
I can be wherever I want to be, and I want a sandwich.
I don't understand, Ellen. You know I can fix this. Just give me a chance. Let me talk to Chris alone.
Are you crazy? They had to hold him back from beating the crap out of me last night. He's not ready for your tender ministrations. Not yet. He needs time to process everything that's happened.
Everything that's happened. What's happened? What don't I know about? He's angry because you're seeing me, right?
Yes, but that's not the whole thing.
Then what's the whole thing?
In a nutshell, I've moved on. He hasn't. I've adjusted to my loss. He's still stuck in his. And he's just now beginning to realize it. After 5 years. Just now. Today. This morning. On my couch. So I don't think he's quite ready to meet the catalyst for the whole damn thing unless I put you in a steel cage where he can't get at you.
So you're saying he's vulnerable,
Yes.
angry,
Absolutely.
on the edge.
Definitely.
Alan,
Yes.
what do I do for a living?
This.
Damn right this. So let's go inside. Chris, I'm Stephanie. Can we talk for a bit?
Sure. Have a seat. Can I get you a drink?
No, I'm good. I think I can handle this. Why don't you bring in some more wood for that smelly old fire? It's chilly in here.
Chris, are you okay?
I'm fine. What do you think I was going to do? Smack her around a little bit to let your lights on? Go get some wood. We're fine.
Well, I must say I'm impressed. From the way Alan was talking, I expected to find you rocking on the floor in the fetal position. Are you okay?
That's a really general question.
Yes, it is. I can do better.
Yeah, I thought maybe you could. Alan said you were what, a grief counselor? So bring it on, counsel my grief. I mean, I've been dealing with it for 5 years now and I haven't moved an inch. Surely someone like you with your months and months of training, experience, ought to be able to come right in here and crack this thing wide open. So, go ahead. Give it your best shot.
Well, that's a hell of a fucking attitude.
Beg pardon?
Alan said you were hurting. He didn't say you were an asshole.
Hey, now look here.
Look, I came here to help, but I don't need your sarcasm. I happen to love Alan, and I'll do whatever it takes to make sure he's happy. Right now, he's not happy because of you. Rob has no problem with Alan moving on and having a happy life. Jimmy is a sweetheart and seems to hold nothing against me. So that leaves you. And if you think that I'm going to let your anger and your bitterness get in the way of his happiness, a man who has been there for you, for everything, for what, 50 years? Then you are sorely mistaken. Now, if you want to take advantage of the fact that you have a mental health professional here with you, at no charge, someone who's willing to listen and offer her months and months of training and experience to help you move on, then let's do this. But if you think for 1 second that I'm going to put up with that kind of an attitude, you couldn't be more wrong. So, shall we get started?
You know, I didn't appreciate that.
Had to be said.
I suppose it did. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Tell me about your sister.
So, I see the two of you are still alive. You okay, hon?
He hasn't attacked yet, but we do need more time. More wood. And don't rush. So,
My sister,
yes.
Helen?
Yes.
I thought you'd ask about Janet.
I know you see that as the root. I don't think it is. Tell me about Helen.
Well, you knew her, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I knew what was left of her after the disease took most of her away. Tell me what I missed.
Well, for starters, she was a pain in the ass.
How so?
She was perfect. Ask Alan. She was perfect in everything she did, in every relationship she had, She was even perfect growing up. You know how older brothers are usually irritated by their younger sisters? That never happened. She was sweet and kind, and she knew when to get out of my way. When I hear other guys talk about how much they hated their little sisters, I cut my mouth shut, because I really loved mine. No complaints. And she took that into adulthood, too, and into her marriage. Alan got the benefits of that. He was awful lucky to find her.
He knows that.
Yeah, I know he does. We've talked about it.
I know. So, when Helen got sick, you were...
Pissed as hell. I mean, why do you make the perfect human being and then just take her away like that? Let her die of old age, or a car crash maybe, but to leave her wasting away like that, take everything from her, that's just mean.
A car crash.
Yeah?
Interesting. Isn't that how Janet died?
Yeah.
So...
So what? Oh, please don't tell me you think I would rather have had Helen die that way.
I don't know. You're the one who brought it up.
Well, I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
No. Let's take a look at this for a minute. Helen was perfect. And yet, she was made to wither away. Janet was...
Also perfect.
Was she? Don't forget, Chris. Alan has told me an awful lot about you guys, and I don't think if I had asked you about Janet first, that you would have called her perfect. Do you?
Probably not. We had our troubles. Don't get me wrong. She was beautiful and intelligent and strong. And she was great with the kids. But she loved to criticize me. Nothing I did was ever quite good enough. Granted, I wasn't perfect. I screwed up a lot, including that affair. Kept us apart for 2 years. It was before the kids were born, and I blamed it on the fact that we were both virgins when we got married, and I still had a bunch of wild oats all stored up in the old granary. I think there's a silo joke there somewhere, but I can't. Anyway, eventually she took me back, but those 2 years apart really did a number on us.
How so?
Well, he was always back of everything I did. And I could feel it needling at her too, like she saw everything through the same filter. Finally, I get the feeling that we're getting past it, and she gets nailed in a crosswalk by a sports car going 80. Oh.
So it was never resolved. You never had any closure with her.
None. I was never forgiven for it. She took me back, but was never forgiven.
Honey, you take a minute. Compose yourself. And then go help Ellen with the firewood.
But I thought we were gonna...
I think we've beaten you up enough for now. This is not going to happen overnight.
So there we are, waiting under the window. And Sean had gone upstairs to get the magazines out of his brother's room. He was going to lower them down to us in a pillowcase so we could take them back to the fort and all, I don't know, look at them in the same room together. I still don't understand why we wanted to look at porn together. Creeps me out now. Anyway, he was starting to put them in the pillowcase when he hears his brother coming down the hall. So he panics and starts throwing magazines out the window. So Alan, Rob, and I all ran around trying to catch the magazines, but they're blowing around in the wind. And that's when the cop pulls up. He shines his floodlight on us, and we scatter, and the cop yells, "Freeze!"
So what did you do?
We froze. Probably the only time in the history of policing that tactic actually worked. We were 15, growing up in a small town. What the heck did we know, right?
So the cop comes over, and he sees what we're trying to do, and starts laughing his ass off. He let us go with a warning, but not before having us gather up all the magazines first. I think he kept them. So that was porn in the 1970s.
There is a different world now. You want to guess how old my son was when he saw his first porn site?
How old?
Well, he was in Catholic school, but working on a report with another student right there in the library.
Okay, Jimmy, tell us how old.
12. He was 12 years old.
Ew.
Yep. He made the mistake of going to GeorgeWashingtonCarver.com.
GeorgeWashingtonCarver.com is a porn site?
It was back then. And that's why I'm sure my son to this day confuses peanuts and penis.
All right, you guys, what's the joke? What did I miss?
Oh, nothing. Just Jimmy's penis joke.
Aha, yes, GeorgeWashingtonCarver.com. You must be Stephanie. This is quite a surprise.
That's right. How are you, Father?
Much better now
I told you, he'll never not say it.
That's okay. I like it. And I'm truly much better now that I see you.
Suck up.
So, I suppose there's a story behind all this.
All what?
Oh, she does coy, does she?
Oh, better than anyone I know.
So, little Miss Coy, what's the story?
Nothing terribly interesting, I'm afraid. I simply decided it was time for Alan to shit or get off the pot. I knew the four of you were going to be here this weekend, so I decided to crash the party. There was some initial yelling and angst at first, but they all got over it, and now they're regaling me with stories of your boyhood exploits. Porn for the priest, huh?
God, really? You had to tell her that one? Look, it wasn't my idea. I was the oldest, so I was duly elected to go into the drugstore. That's where they kept the porn in those days. How did I know that my girlfriend's father was the druggist?
Rob, gotta stop you right there before you get yourself in real trouble. Because we were telling different porn stories.
Oh, great. Now she knows I have two porns. This is not looking good for me. I'm just going to shut up and eat.
Probably a good idea.
So, Chris, you're good with the timing and all,
I
right?
thought you were gonna shut up and eat.
Timing? How do you mean?
Well, you know, the fact
He doesn't mean anything. He's an idiot. How could he possibly mean anything?
Seriously, what do you mean timing? God. Is there something I need to know about the timing of all this? Somebody had better tell me what it is that I obviously don't know.
Hey, brother, I'm right there with you. I don't know anything about timing either.
Chris, look at me. Just focus on me for a second, okay? You trust me, right?
I thought I did.
Well, you can trust me. And this is something that we can talk about calmly. Let's just go over to the couch and talk for a minute, okay? Chris.
Okay.
Wasn't it just yesterday he was telling me he doesn't trust therapists at all? He practically spits when he talks about them. How the hell did she do that? How long was I gone?
I don't know how she does it, but I've seen her do it dozens of times. I think she's just magic.
Or maybe it's just because she's gorgeous and men have trouble saying no to a gorgeous woman. Especially when the man is old and the woman is not.
Very insightful, Jimmy.
Come to think of it, Jimmy, I've only seen her do this with men. You might be right. Come on, let's get this stuff cleaned up.
Come on, I just got started.
You can finish in the kitchen. Come on, let's give him a chance to talk.
So what the hell is this all about?
Do you really think we're going to start out that way?
I suppose not. How about this? I understand that there are a few things I still might not know about this whole situation. And I was hoping we might discuss them now.
Much better. I could do without that sarcasm, but better. Now, before we talk about timing, I want to get back to Helen for a minute, okay?
I suppose so. What about her?
The first thing you said about her was that she was perfect. Given some time to think about it, do you still believe that?
Yes. I can't think of any reason to change my answer.
So everything she did was the right thing to do.
Essentially, yes.
Every decision she made was flawless.
Well, she wasn't the goddamn Pope, but I'd say that her judgment was impeccable.
I think you're probably right on the money with that statement. And I want you to keep it in mind as we move forward, okay?
Okay.
After her very distinguished career as a prosecutor and a law professor came to an end because of the disease which shall not be named, she began to study up on it. She knew that things were going to be rough for her, but she knew she probably wouldn't even notice the mental changes going on. But things were going to be even rougher for Alan. He was going to be alone in this, and he, being Alan, was going to sacrifice everything for her sake. She couldn't stand the thought of it.
How do you know all this?
So she couldn't stand the thought of Alan being alone and suffering for her sake. And yes, she understood the idea of for better or for worse in sickness and in health. But understanding that concept and living it are two very different things. So she made a decision. She told Alan not to live the rest of his life alone. And here's part of the timing issue. She told him 2 years before she died. She wanted to be sure he knew that the message was real and not part of the dementia. She made the decision, and she told him
Let me ask again, and don't blow me off this time. How do you know all this?
Because I was there when she told him. I was there when she gave him permission. Almost insisted that he find someone to be with and not let her illness get in the way of that. Yes, I was her counselor and her friend for the last 6 months of her life. But I was also that to Alan for the last 2 years of her life.
Why didn't she say something? Why not?
She thought about it, but by the time Alan and I started dating, she had already lost most of her mental faculties. I don't think that you or the family would have believed her if she did.
How long?
Have we been dating? 3 years. We saw each other so often that a bond began to build as we both cared for Helen. About 6 months after she made her decision, we went to her and told her we wanted to start seeing each other. I think she was happy for us, but it was already hard for her to understand.
3 years? And Alan never said a word. He kept everything from us. Why?
Because he's Alan. Always thinking of others, never himself. He saw you suffering, not able to move on after Janet died. And if you recall, he was the one, always there, trying to get you out of the house, trying to help you heal and move on. But he sure as hell was not gonna rub your nose in the fact that he managed to do what you couldn't. He loves you too much for that, Chris. So he kept it inside, always searching for the right time. But the right time never came, and the only reason it came yesterday was because I forced his hand. It's time for both of you to move on and accept the fact that your sister knew exactly what she was doing. And we couldn't be more grateful to her for that.
So you're saying Helen really wanted this?
I don't know if she wanted it or if she simply knew it was the right decision to make. I think the important thing to realize is that nothing was done behind her back. In fact, Alan resisted the idea initially, but we got used to it together.
I wanted to tell you. I tried to tell you. Oh, I didn't want to hurt you. I couldn't figure out how to do one without doing the other. Your sister was the best thing that ever happened to me. And she's still here. There. Right there. And I see her in you every time I look at you. So, you need to stop avoiding me so I can see her more often. The last thing I ever wanted to do was hurt you.
I know. I'm sorry I let my anger get the best of me. It wasn't about you, I know that now. You know, I think Helen would be kicking both our asses right now if she were here.
And you both deserve it.
Mother of God, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. Can't sleep?
Too wound up, I guess. I haven't had a session like that in ages. I'm not used to that kind of trauma. Or drama, for that matter.
I'm really impressed with the way you handled it.
Thank you.
You know, I probably would have had to slap him around a little to get it.
I don't see that as your style at all, Father.
Are you kidding? With these guys, I can show you the scars and bruises.
Nope, really, Alan has never said that. And I've never seen any bruises on him either. And I've checked.
So how did you do it?
Do what?
Get Chris to open up like that. He's a tough nut to crack. I should know, I've had him in a nutcracker many times.
I don't know what finally made him break. I think I just told him the truth.
What a novel approach. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth.
It seems to work for me most of the time. But you want to know a secret? I never know what's going to work. Or if anything is going to work. Ever.
Really?
Really. Most of the time, I just feel like I'm flailing my arms in the ocean and hoping I'll learn to swim fast enough to save the drowning person next to me.
You want to know a secret?
Mm-hmm.
That's me most of the time, too.
You, Father? I thought you had God on your side. Doesn't he just tell you what to say, what techniques to use, what stories to tell? You know, Alan says you're an allegory kind of guy. He says you always have just the right story to tell.
I've got lots of stories, but they don't work on these guys anymore. They've hurt them all.
So what do?
Flail my arms in the ocean and try to learn how to swim. So what's next for him?
A lot of hard work. I'm sure he's feeling the high of breaking through, but it's not going to last. He is going to need a lot of attention and a lot more healing before he remains the old Chris.
Then he'll get it.
I know he will. You guys are truly awesome. I don't know many people who would have stuck it out so long with someone like Chris. 5 years is a long time to carry someone. Most people would have bailed after 2.
Not to brag, but we're special.
How so?
Hard to put my finger on. But we've always looked out for each other. Surgeries, tragedies, broken bones and all. We've always dropped everything to be there for each other. Especially Chris. Before Jan. You know how Alan seems to be the glue that holds us all together?
Yeah.
That used to be Chris.
Really?
He was the one to make the phone calls to get us all together. Hell, we spent most of our time at his house. Janet would lay out a spread. The girls would play canasta in the kitchen. Guys would play euchre in the man cave. We had everything but the cigars. Could have been an ad for the 1950s. But it was always Chris. He held us together.
Alan never told me that.
I guess there were some things he didn't want to share. He probably didn't want you to think less of Chris. He was a hell of a fellow.
Always thinking, isn't he?
You know Alan.
I thought I did, but I'm definitely getting to know him better because of you guys.
Well, there are a few more porn stories in which he... I will consider sharing them with you at some point.
Well, I'd be very interested to hear them. But thank you for all you do for them.
I do what I can, thanks be to God. But right now, I think I'd better go get some sleep. After all, I've got to go be holy in the morning. May not be magic, but you certainly managed some decent sleight of hand tonight. God bless you, and thank you.
No charge.
Stephanie, it was a pleasure to finally meet you. And next time I hope we can spend more time together. I'm sorry I have to run off so early today, but it is Sunday and you know I only work weekends.
It was great to meet you too, Rob. And I'm sure you're busy the rest of the week too. Next time, let's spend a little bit more time on your teenage years with these guys. I'm sure there's something there that could be very interesting.
It's a deal. And I will see you next time. 2 weeks from Friday at Chris's place. I don't know how you pulled that off. You just might be magic. And I suspect he's going to be straightening and cleaning up for the next 2 weeks. The two of you did good work this weekend. Both of you.
Just finishing what you started, Father. Drive safe.
Looks like we'll be heading out too. Yeah, Jenny will be happy to see me so soon. Just love that look on her face.
I can't wait to meet her.
Well, she'll be surprised when she hears about all this. But I have a feeling the two of you are going to get along really well. She's got some real balls too. Love you, brother.
Love you too.
And I'll see you at Chris's in 2 weeks. Unbelievable.
I don't know what to say, and I don't know how to begin to thank you. You know what I think it is? This little group of ours here just needed some female energy. There's too much testosterone floating around. You were exactly what we needed, what I needed. And thank you for setting me on the right path.
That's exactly the right word, Chris. Path. It's going to be a long road back to healing. I was thrilled to be the one to give you the push, and I'm going to be there as much as I can. But you got to follow through, okay? You got to walk the path back to that place.
Now you're sounding like Rob.
I'll take it.
You know I'm not magically all better, although I feel it right now. But Rob is going to set me up with a buddy of his, and I'm really looking forward to meeting her. If she's half the therapist that you are, I'll be in pretty good shape. You know, I'm still not sure how you got me to open up like that.
Simple explanation, she's been magic.
Right. That must be it. Well, see you in 2 weeks. Beers all around. And a nice clean house. I'll be working on that today. Sorry for being such an asshole and, you know, wanting to rip your head off.
No worries.
And thanks for letting us finally meet her. I'm sure Helen would be very happy you found each other.
And I know Janet would be relieved to know that you are finally moving on. Best of luck to both of us. I love you, brother.
I love you too.
I underestimated you. I'm sorry.
No worries. I never imagined I could actually pull that off. I was sweating bullets the entire time. You know those plate spinning guys on the old Ed Sullivan show?
Yeah, I know.
YouTube? Silly. Anyways, that's what it felt like. Trying to keep everyone up on their stick and rotating.
There's a joke there. Never mind, too easy. Leave it guys.
Well, you did a magnificent job.
And you know what?
What?
For the first time, I feel like I belong here. I'm no longer a guest at the cabin, no longer the interloper. I'm home.
Well then, welcome home.
So, you think you're ready to meet my parents now?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.